What's up, guys? So recently I have been toying around playing with making custom models. Well, not really custom. Well, one custom. That's part of it right here. But I've been toying around and seeing how the wooden railway stuff has been made. And I've also been toying around with a Lights and Sounds Thomas and Light Up Reveal Thomas. And I found a cool thing about this one is that you can flip the magnets around for whatever reason. I thought that'd be cool, just for my own sake. But this one's talking about this is a 2017 Wooden Railway Thomas that I tried putting light on the running board, and I don't like how it turned out, so I just decided to take a hammer to it and split it right here. So you would just take a flathead screwdriver and just put it right up against here, take your hammer, and crack it open. When I cracked it open, they hollowed out a centerpiece here on the wooden block, as you can see there, and I took a piece off, and that's all that's holding that magnet in place on that, is just this little plastic piece that is glued down into that piece there, which really isn't too big of a deal, because it is, besides it being glued down, it's also stuck really well together by two rods that sit on top of it, glued down. Something I thought that was interesting was I saw a screw here, so I'm going to unscrew it real quick, and it's something really weird, because I figured because they tried to cheapen things up a bit, which isn't always a bad thing, I didn't know if it would be screwed on or not. And there's a screw in it, obviously, but there's no prying this thing off. It is definitely glued in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hammer to this thing and see how glued down it is, but I'm going to skip it because I don't think you want to hear loud hammer sounds against the Thomas, because that's just graphic. So I got Thomas apart, and he was screwed in yet again. So there's actually two screws holding this together. Now, older models, I have seen it where it's just the one screw here holding Thomas in place, or Thomas's face in place, I should say. And they added that secondary screw hole right here. And you can see on the bottom of his face, there is that hole there. And that's really all that held Thomas together, was just those two screws and glue. And then there's this big plastic ring right here. And I'm going to assume that's the dome, as it pretty much lines up perfectly with it. I don't know why I would take that out, but yeah, I got bored and decided to get destructive and find out what exactly a Thomas Wooden Railway train pretty much putting together process was, and really, it's not too much. I think if I get this screw out, the fun will pop off, and this face will come out as... I don't know if I can get a clear shot of it, but there's a little plastic piece. I'm trying to get it to focus. Of course it won't. But I'll take this little thing. Right here is a plastic bit. It is glued in by the funnel piece that sits down on it like this. So if this was that piece, it's sitting down in it and glued. So all you would have to do is get that glue to loosen up and that screw to come out, and you could easily pop the face out, which I don't think would hurt it, as the piece that you're going to hurt of the face itself would be back in here. I might try to do that and get a magnet works. How about that? A non-Thomas Wooden Railway engine and stick this face on it, considering I'm already doing a bunch of sanding and things to an old Ertl. Maybe I will just go ahead and do another face on a separate engine, because I have a few of them that could use a face. But no, this is just me being bored and destroying stuff and figuring out things as I go, and possibly making future customs.